I looked at Dad and I was like, they just called you fat. So where I usually get ready is in front of my mirror. We have full-length mirrors in our bedroom, so I usually just sit on the floor. And I thought we could just, have a little chat while I get ready. And then I will show some footage of the night. I'm going to be getting really close because I just took my glasses off. So essentially, for those who don't know, Red Vein in Ashland is a small business haunted house. I also have Busch Gardens and King's Dominion, and I used to go to them a lot with my family, but after a while they just became really repetitive and it wasn't that scary. So we heard a lot of good reviews for Red Vein, and we went for the first time last year. We went for the Christmas, actually, because who does a haunted Christmas? No one. It was such a new idea to do a haunted Christmas because I've never heard of anyone doing that. I mean, people do like Gothmas or whatever kind of like home decor and stuff, but I've never heard of an event actually doing like a haunted Christmas, like Krampus and like Gingerbread Man and all of that shit. And so we went because that was something my husband had brought up about doing. And we absolutely loved it. It actually got me a few times. I remember specifically the Gingerbread Men really scared me. And I don't get scared a lot during haunted houses. And I don't say that as a flex or anything. It's actually a bummer. I wish I could get scared more. However, that's just not... I don't know if I'm immune to it. I don't know if the scares are just cheap and lazy. But I can't get scared in a lot of haunted houses. And Red Vein shocked me. I highly recommend them if you're in the area because I run a Halloween group that's statewide. And I've mentioned Red Vein. And a lot of people, to my surprise, had said, I've never been there. I've never heard of it. What do they do? I'm like, you have to go. I love this place. From what I've seen, a lot of people got tickets for this year, which I'm very happy about because they put a lot of work into it. And the Christmas thing is only for 2 nights, but they do a lot of things for their Christmas. So what you do is you buy a ticket for a time slot, and this helps regulate people coming in, parking. So I usually get not the earliest time slot, but the second earliest. So they open at 7. I usually get the 7:30 one. And when you get there, and they have a handful of vendors, and they sell Yuletide things, Krampus, oddities, taxidermy, and whatnot. And then they also have food trucks there. I know tonight they're having cider donuts, and apple cider, and hot chocolate, and oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the food truck that they're going to have. But we've been to that food truck before. My husband really liked it. Then when they call for the 7:30 slot, in this case, you walk up, show them your wristband, you walk across the bridge, go, and you wait in line for the house. And I know last year, and I've seen pictures from this year, when you get to the front of the line, they'll ask if you want to be marked with blood. And I do it. My dad hates it because he's like, that's satanic. But I'm like, I'm just here for a good time, and I'm here for the ride, so I do it. I like that it's a little interactive. Like, they're not going to, reach out and grab you, but it's a little interactive in that way. So, you go through one maze, and there's a little bit of a queue for next part. You wait, you go in, and you can get it all done. I believe we usually finish within an hour. So it's a really quick, but really good haunt. Everyone is really nice. They put a lot of work into their craft, and you can tell. They always have some storylines. For the Halloween one, it was a futuristic virus thing that they were doing. Or UFOs. It was UFOs. And I'll put some pictures, behind me from where we were for the Halloween. And we really enjoyed that. And then for their Christmas one, apparently it's taking place with a live TV set. It kind of reminded me, and I've never seen this movie. I want to, but I haven't seen it. Night with the Devil. It reminded me of that type of thing. I think that's one thing that Red Vein has on King's Dominion and Busch Gardens, is that they have the time and the energy to create these in-depth backstories for their characters and for their plots. And even though it's a smaller scale production, they put a lot of heart into it, and I just really enjoy going. I found that the Christmas one was scarier, ironically, so I'm very, very excited to see what they've come up with this year. All right, I am ready to go. I gotta wait for my husband to get home, and then we're gonna drive on over to my parents, meet them, and then we'll be ready to go. So hopefully I can get a few videos around Red Vein to show you the atmosphere and what it's like. Obviously cannot film in the houses, but I will definitely be taking videos and pictures to show you all about what all goes on. And I hope that if you are in the area, you will be able to check them out. So, let's go. So when you first arrive to Red Vein, you will be greeted by attendants. They will lead you to a large field. It is free parking, easy to get in and out. The only thing is, it is a little bumpy, so be mindful of that if your car has issues with that. When you walk up to the first building, make sure to have your ticket ready to scan. They will give you a little bracelet and circle the time of your haunt, and then you are ready to walk in. And right inside this building is the vendors market. They usually have a handful of vendors in there. Didn't film anything because I didn't want to intrude, but they have a lot of great stuff. At the time of your haunt, they will make an announcement, so there's no need to wait in a line. They will call your time. You will walk down a trail to the second part where the house is located.
Jeez. They stepped it up this year.
But apparently they're just here for the show. They're taking pictures. It's not a big deal. Y'all got one.
Then you will reach the maze entrance, and the fun really starts as actors venture and walk through the crowd. Now right here is where they will ask if you want to be marked with fake blood. I always opt for it. It doesn't operate as a no scare symbol, so there's no harm in doing it, even if you really want thrills.
I mean, it's not what I thought it was going to be, but with the white.
And after about an hour, you'll be exiting the maze. You come out to a few photo ops and a bonfire to get warm, and the Red Vein merch shop. My husband was in the market for a sweatshirt this year, and last year we both got t-shirts, and I wear it daily. Highly recommend checking them out.
It's a wolf.
So I really want to highlight things I did not get to film, and so I thought I would include this little recap. So the first thing is the vendors. I do want to highlight the vendors. I'm going to put them right here. They had so many beautiful things. I highly recommend going to check them out if they have a website or social media. I really do wish I could have purchased something from those vendors because they had some beautiful pieces. One thing that I do want to highlight about the house itself is they start their scares early. They had actors walking through the crowd and over the bridge and banging on the walls and stuff, and they didn't do that last year. In the video you can hear me say, oh, they stepped it up, because they really did, and it caused me to jump. It actually got me because I was not expecting it, and I really enjoyed that. And then when you get to the line, there were 3 actors. There was the monkey, there was the elf, and then there was a guy named Snaggletooth. He was up at the front, and he was walking around. He was like present for Snaggletooth, and I was like, I got 6 cents. So I gave him 6 cents. He did actually take the 6 cents. So if you gave him something, he was taking it. So don't give him like a 50 or something, because he actually took it. As soon as you jump into that house, you're getting scared, and they're coming at you from all angles. It's insane. I know they only did it for 1 weekend, but I really don't want to spoil anything. I just want to say the sets are phenomenal, and they're gorgeous, and they have so much to work with. I jumped the minute I got in that house because of their jump scares and how many places they have to jump between, and I think that's saying something, considering at the beginning of this video I said I don't get scared often, and within a few steps I was jumping. While we were walking through the maze, they kept calling my parents Frosty because they had little Santa. They had little snowman hats. One of the break periods where you get in a queue and you wait to go into the next part, they had us stand with our backs against the wall, and we were waiting to go in, and the guy was like going down the line, and there were 2 girls with us and then us 4. So they were like, elf, elf, my mom, Frosty elf, my husband, elf, me, elf, and then my dad, reindeer food. And they were like, because you got a lot there. And I looked at Dad and I was like, they just called you fat. I like that. It's kind of like, again, interactive. It's one of the interactive experiences, and I really enjoy that. You won't get that at King's Dominion. And on that note, when we went into another portion of that house, it was a room, and they were trying to get my husband on his knees. They were like, get on your knees, get on your knees. And my husband was like, I'm not. And I was like, just get on your knees, bro. And there was a girl dressed like a teddy bear, and I was like, oh, you got pretty eyes, because they were like little buttons. They were red buttons. I think they had sequins. It's like, you got pretty eyes. And she said, thanks, I hate them. And then walked away. I was like, oh. And then we got to the gingerbread house, which is my favorite part. The gingerbread people always scare me for some reason. I don't know what it is about that part, but that's the part that gets me. And my husband and I got into a little tiff. It wasn't anything big. It was just, a little annoyance. And he was walking ahead of me, not walking with me. I was like, really? And a gingerbread man walked up to Mom, and he asked my mom, do you need someone to hold your hand? And my mom was like, no, thank you. And then he walked up to me and he said, do you need someone to hold your hand? I was like, yes, I do. So I was escorted to the gingerbread house by a gingerbread man. And I looked at the gingerbread man and I said, I've been married to this man. He don't even care. And he said, it's okay. I'm sweeter. I'm like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. I know I keep saying it, but it is such an incredibly interactive experience and is a beautiful haunt. The set design, the costumes, the heart that goes into it. It's an incredibly beautiful experience. I highly recommend checking them out. I know Red Vein in Ashland, Virginia, if you get the chance next fall and Christmas time, because you won't be let down. There's so many things to do. The scares are great. The actors are phenomenal. I really want them to get the recognition they deserve. So if you're in the area, check them out. Thank you for coming with me on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my first time doing something like this, so I hope that you enjoyed it. And I will see you on the next one. Happy holidays. Bye.